Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tiffany Allen, and as you have heard, our topic and theme for today is Reflect, Restart, and Reconnect. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia, a very small city nobody really knows, but it's very close to Virginia Beach. People know that place. From there, I went to North Carolina, lived for about 5 years, went to study there, and after that, UNF, and my favorite place is Florida. So I like to say Florida is home. Now, to go ahead and get started, I wanted to describe how I live my life, both professionally and personally. And I live by this quote. There was a grad school professor by the name of Dr. Wanda Lestrabes. She said this to me. She said, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." And at the time, it was a very difficult time. I had a little girl. She was less than one. Dr. Lestrabes used to call me on the weekend to check on us. She even invited me to go for a marathon run. I don't run. But I went and walked with my friends. Dr. Lestrabes and her husband won first place medals. I just finished, but that's okay. Sometimes that's all you can do. Now, to get started, the title of my TED Talk is Masterpieces in Pieces, and you'll see why I call it that. To go ahead and get started, I love how in one movie the character says, "Life is like a box of chocolates." This sentiment resonates to be so true to me in my life in more ways than one. Especially with age, for many of us, with age follows wisdom. In this statement, he is acknowledging that we do not often know what is going to happen, but like chocolate, life can be delicious. This applies to those like me who love chocolate on special occasions. Life is all about perspective. The most important is our own perspective, or for some, the audience of one. My grandmother often says, "In time, you will see." We often understand life backwards. If I am honest, my grandmother, Granny, she would say things that a 9-year-old could barely comprehend. But at 32 years young, it is like I have found a new revelation, a new foundation. When reflecting on my experiences and those of others around me, I have discovered that time and time again, Granny is always right. When I read this speech to her, she thought that was funny. She's like, "Yes, it's about time you figured it out. I'm always right." What she meant when she said you will understand life backwards is that we often must go through something to understand the purpose it serves and served. Take a moment. Think. We often understand life backwards, and we must persevere through the difficult situations to get an understanding in retrospect. Are you getting what I'm putting down? Are you understanding? Let me try again. Imagine you want to become wealthy, like Elon Musk. You want to move to a whole other planet and treat that planet better than planet Earth. I personally think this is an incredible idea, an incredible goal. Now, what do you do on a daily basis? Play games, go to school, go to work, go out to eat, and sleep as long as you can on the weekend. This is typical. This is typical behavior for some adults and many adolescents. Some may even participate in sports, part-time gigs, part-time jobs, academic activities outside of school. However, can we agree that this is average? Dare I say mediocre? The desire and goal is and was exceptional. The daily activity, though, is average. How then will my desire and goal of exceptionality be achieved? As a math teacher for nearly a decade, statistically speaking, it is highly improbable that the goal will be achieved. Why? Because the goal does not align with the daily activities. This is, in essence, mediocrity. Many people subscribe to this essence of living, both knowingly and unknowingly. Sadly, many people do so, and let's get back to the point. As a lover of English and a semi-seasoned mathematics professional, the point for me is this. We all understand that masterpieces are valuable. They are exquisite, priceless, and expensive. We all know how to break things and have felt broken by someone, and many times even by ourselves. This means we all have the potential to see that we are masterpieces and pieces. We are all, in someone's perspective, broken and in need of repair in one way, shape, or form. We are also, in someone's perspective, a hero, a force to be reckoned with. However, we are all masterpieces to someone, like Granny is to me. Typically our parents, friends, associates, and even frenemies. Yes, I said frenemies. Some people are well-intended in our lives, and initially they may mean you well, but in time their season ends. Life is happening to each and every one of us at the same time, good, bad, and indifferent. The irony of it all is that we will never know the depths of each other's hurt or healing. However, at those moments where we feel hurt, we have to be reflective and willing to restart. At this point, we can commence healing and growth and finally reconnect. Sometimes your life is on the big screen of someone else's primetime sitcom, where they are watching and taking notes, cheering you on, condemning your failures, proud of your accomplishments, ashamed of your humanity. But ultimately, they see you as a masterpiece. To some, they see a piece, but to the one that matters, you are a masterpiece. In closing, in the words of Granny, perform for an audience of one. We are all walking, breathing oxymorons, masterpieces and pieces. Dare I say, exceptional masterpieces? It all depends on perspective and your vantage point. Thank you.